this is a topic that, as a team, we've had a lot of discussions about this week. So I thought this was a phenomenal question. Can you explain the pros and cons of the Mickey Broom package in Ami Ruby? So, Christian, we're going to talk about the local later on, but you were playing a deck this week, and you were playing Ruby Ami, and if I remember correctly, you were not playing Mickey Broom combo, correct?
I was not on the Broom combo, correct.
Okay. So, and you did play it the week before, right?
Correct. Also
All right.
not on the
So,
Broom combo.
you have 2 weeks of local experience playing this. Nothing like at a 1K experience. However, first you hear it here first. You guys are playing in 30 plus player league nights. So it's not like it's not nothing. At 30 plus players is a that's a lot of players.
It's a lot
So
of
talk to
players.
me.
It is.
Talk to me about your experience with the deck and the two, the difference of why you think one is better than the other. Not even better than the other, but what each. Let's just say what each has to offer. So what does Mickey Broom
Sure.
have to offer?
So Mickey Broom, I think, has to offer in I think a couple different avenues. I think the easiest one to point out is it's good for budget players,
Mhm.
right? Like it's weird to think of Ruby Amethyst as a budget deck, but there's the concept of like building out the deck that you want to play and putting in the Mickeys and the Brooms does offer space that does people often play with it even if the most expensive list still, and so I think it's a good way for budget players to use it. Um, and it offers a different way of dealing with the mirror, right? Typically you'll see a lot of stuff people talk about the Ruby Amethyst mirror going to time all the time or taking forever, and a
I
lot
mean,
of that mirror match has.
I've
Mhm.
now seen games where people are getting to like legitimately 30 ink.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen
Yeah.
it, right? And the brooms, the brooms alone allow you to recycle your big bombs, right? Like a lot of that mirror match is like who has the last big dudes left? Because a lot of your big dudes get rid of other dudes, right? And so when you have the brooms to like recycle like your Aladdins, your Elsas, your Ursula, or your Maleficent dragons, right? You start to like get those like tempo plays back into your deck. And the Mickeys allow you to get those a little cheaper, right? You run Pocket Watch, so you can rush the Brooms if you want to. I think that personally, I think the biggest like benefit of adding Mickeys to the Brooms isn't actually so much the cost reduction; it's the fact that Ruby Amethyst doesn't really have a lot of decent 4 cost characters to play,
Mhm.
and playing Mickey out, he's still like 2 lore, right? So
Mhm.
like he still offers a way for you to win, like get closer to the end of
To
the game, which
pressure.
is what everyone should be doing
And
anyway,
it's
right?
and,
So
and his,
you know,
his strength and willpower aren't bad either. They're
his,
fine.
yeah, yeah, he's got okay stats, and like if you have 3 brooms in hand, you got a Mickey, it feels really good,
Mhm.
right?
Oh,
So that's where that's where I see a lot of like the benefit of playing the Mickey broom package combo.
I think an unspoken benefit too is the game doesn't have a lot of shuffle effects. And I
Yeah,
recently, in the current build of Amethyst Steel, I've been put the Broom package in there as a shuffle effect because Ursula's Cauldron is a ridiculous card, and
Mhm.
I've been sold on that card now. And having that shuffle effect when you put your bombs to the bottom early lets you get them back in the rotation, so they're not just out of the game. So like that's kind
yeah,
of the hidden power of it.
yeah,
Yeah, after like really going through the deck this week, I totally understand the people, like the mindset of this whole setup that you can go through to win these gigantic games that go somehow, like I said, to like literal 5 cards left in deck and 30 ink in play. I mean, these game states are unbelievable to even consider and see, but they're happening. They're definitely happening on Pixelborn. There's like stories
yeah,
of like hour and 20-minute games and things like that, which, I mean, shout out to Pixelborn lasting that long in a single game, because for me, it always messes up somewhere. So like,
just like
uh,
struggles, you know.
it's just one of those where it's like, man, I get it. I understand all the reasons why people are really going into it. I just wonder, you know, if it is the actual best option, if it's the only option. And I'm just not sold that it is the only option, but I understand why I understand why people feel like they are so committed to it. But I think time will tell. I think we might see that deck continue to evolve, and I think we might see, you know, other versions trying to do different things that maybe you don't need that combo, or you definitely don't need 3 or 4 of each of those cards type scenario. Like I said, at the end of the day, Amethyst offers you a lot of draw power, so like having or feeling forced to play X amount of those cards might just not be true. But we'll see. We'll see in given time. All
I
right,
think
so our
there's an
last.
argument too, real quick, just to just add one little thing there. I think there's also an argument too to adding brooms but no Mickey. Like I think the idea of like turning an inkable 2-cost character into the potential to draw like another Elsa, Mickey BLT, Aladdin is pretty strong, but I don't think you need the extra Mickey to like reinforce that, right? I think there's an argument to also just having those as well, right? Another argument because they're out there.
It's
Just
just
something to throw out, right?
it's just all part
It
of the combo. It really is. Like
all part of the combo. Yeah.
this once you get up to like 23 ink, 27 ink, you can do like really, really dumb things. In like in the mirror in particular. Basically, like anything that's not playing steel. If you're going to the end game and you're not playing in steel, and like they just don't have an answer for your pocket watches, they don't have an answer for your mirrors, and you just like play this ridiculously long, drawn out game, like all of a sudden you just can have turns where you're like, I can play Broom, I can get it back in Aladdin, I can draw my Aladdin with Mirror, I can then play my Aladdin and give him Rush, and then I can play Elsa. Like you just have like literal a million ink that do. I hate you so much. Like that does like all this ridiculous stuff, and I get it. I just don't. I'm not convinced that that's the only way to win the mirror match yet, and that's where
I
I'm
agree. I agree. I'm with you on that.